Hi there Gemini, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot. This is going to be your weekly intuitive tarot reading for June 1st to the 7th. So what we've got here in your recent past, we've got the Ten of Wands with the Three of Swords. In your current or focus energies for this week, we have the Three of Wands with the Amazing Magician, and we have the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Crystals coming in towards the end of the week, or your outcome energy. Wish I could get some candles, guys. Nothing burning in the amethyst at the moment. Sorry, I just there's not many retail stores open in Australia at the moment, and those that are, like Kmart and the supermarkets, are well and truly out of candles. So we're just got the bright lights on, unfortunately, but that's what we have to roll with. So in terms of your tarot, we've got the oracle cards here as well, which we'll get to in a moment, but just looking at the cards, bit of an overview here, that is very clear that there is some kind of very major completion that is going on for you guys. And, you know, we've got it with the Three of Swords. You know, there's some kind of pain or hurt associated with that. It's definitely nothing to be long-term upset about, Gemini, because, you know, you are getting ready to head in a whole new direction to create the life that you truly desire, one that's truly aligned with you this time round, because I feel that there was a sense of the other one just not. You've had to release this in order to get back on your track, back on your purpose. And we see, you know, real success with that Nine of Crystals coming in, you know, moving into a place of greater intuition, compassion, groundedness, and actually success, and looking probably fabulous as well. So if it is a breakup and you're wanting to attract someone, you're definitely going to be on fire in that department as well. Let's go to your oracles before the tarot. Okay, so we have Align Your Life here, very fitting, we'll get to that one. From the Yogic Path deck, we have Pratyahara. My beautiful Indian listeners, you're probably at home having a little giggle about how I pronounce that, but hopefully it's not too off. Okay guys, so starting with this one, I thought this tied together really well with your reading. Now, this one actually talks about the 8 stages of yoga and the control of the senses, but the message in particular here, which I thought was interesting, talks about letting go of the distractions in your life. And when you do that, everything else seems to upgrade around it, and it can talk about the things that you might be holding on to you. It gives some examples of you know, people, even food, things, assets, could be relationships, you know, lies, things that are not aligned with you, that are just falling away because they're no longer in alignment. And it's when you actually let go of those things, that's when, you know, you align your life more and you go to the next level in terms of your development and involvement. So that ties in really perfectly with the Align Your Life Oracle card, which asks you, you know, what is not aligned or needs to change. And I feel that, you know, some of you may have already gone through this completion, or of course, because timing's fluid with these readings, you might be on the threshold of it, but you know, this is really asking, you know, what is that thing that needs to be released in order to get your life back on track. And I do feel, because we have the Three of Swords here, that it's potentially something that's going to push you out of your comfort zone, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to let go of, even if you know that it's the right thing for you. So we'll read out that oracle card, guys, the first part of it anyway, and then we'll get on to the tarot cards. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant stage of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be, but there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align our life to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you're being called to let go of who you once were, the things that once defined you, the job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, to truly embrace who you are now. It's perfect, Gemini. It's perfect. Just keep in mind, it's always all perfect, even if it doesn't feel good at the start. Okay, let's get some focus on that. Okay, in your recent past here, Gemini, look, we've got a double whammy here. Yeah, I didn't tell you before, but hiding behind your Ten of Wands was the Ten of Swords. They came out together, and as your clarifier, we have the Three of Swords. So it's very clear here that we have a painful ending, potentially a sudden ending as well. Not for everyone. For some of you, you might know this is brewing and you've been resisting it for a while, but the kind of situation we're talking about here is something that has held you back, something that's held you stuck for a while. If you look at this person in the Ten of Wands, they are they're weighed down, they're stressed, they are burdened by a situation. It can look like just having way too much responsibility in your life and kind of having that overwhelm feeling, sort of drowning in it. Obviously it can, the big areas of life, guys, I go there in the general readings, but obviously it can be our, the job and the workplace that is really stressful, has caused you a lot of grief. Maybe it's already come to an end because of this whole COVID thing, and you are lamenting the loss of the colleagues, the fact that you're going into the office every day and all of that kind of thing. That could be quite painful for you at the moment, but we have to keep in mind, these endings are here for a reason, because they're helping you to align your life. I'm just seeing the train tracks clicking back into place. Maybe your train was kind of heading in a destination that wasn't perfect for you, and now things are kind of reconnecting to head you into the direction you're fully meant to go in, because we have the sense of being stuck or not being able to see other opportunities and pathways that are open to you. The person that carries the Ten of Wands is blinded. They can only see they can't even really see, but they can follow the well-worn path and be on autopilot, but they wouldn't see if there was a great new job opportunity over here, a beautiful new romance over here, because they're blinded. Their vision's blinded, and that keeps them stuck. Of course, guys, this could also be the ending of a relationship as well, especially because we do have that Three of Swords here. Three of Swords can be that heartbreak card. It doesn't have to be, but it usually indicates a situation that has hurt you at some level or deeply disappointed you. There's a feeling of sadness or despair about it when the Three of Swords is in a reading. And the Ten of Swords also can talk about painful endings and sudden endings as well. The silver lining in all of this is that when we get to an ending, that is the first stage of the new beginning. And we heard in the Align Your Life Oracle card that we're cyclic beings, right? Whether it's your work, whether it's your relationship, or a period in your life like, adolescence or motherhood, maidenhood, all these different cycles in our life. We are cyclic beings, and we can't always be in the summer, in the height of it. We naturally go through, in every situation, take a relationship, for example, it blooms and blossoms. We have the spring, then we have the summer where it's all just beautiful. We're in the honeymoon stage. Sometimes for some of us, we go through the winter, the autumn and winter, where things go bad and it is time to move on. But each cycle we complete and move to the next one, we generally align our life or align ourselves a little bit better so that we can attract in that partner or opportunity that just feels a little bit better for us. Of course, it doesn't relate to anyone. Some people find that perfect soulmate and live happily ever after, and that's brilliant as well. But here, obviously we have kind of a painful ending. That the Ten of Swords can be a betrayal as well, a deception, a betrayal, feeling really burnt out if it's a work situation. But by goodness, that new dawn, that new day, that light, the divine is ready to bring that new beginning in for you. It's ready to eclipse that darkness. So it's not going to be long. And the Three of Swords, as soon as that heart is exposed and all its vulnerability, it starts to heal. It's not very long into a healing process when a wound is exposed to those elements that, it starts to heal, and it heals twice as strong usually as well. Okay, so we've got a big ending, a really big ending, guys. Maybe a sudden one, maybe a painful one. But then in your current or focus energies, what I love is this. Three of Wands and the Magician. So if we looked in that, we saw in the Ten of Wands, sorry, the Ten of Swords, we saw that little slither of yellow sky ready to eclipse the darkness. Well, it's not going to be long before you're going to be fully illuminated in that brightness, in that sun energy. That's you healed. It's not going to necessarily take too long to get over the initial part of it. Of course, it can take time to get over, the full healing cycle. But very soon, I think you're going to find yourself at the crossroads of life. I think you're going to find yourself easily turning your back on that past situation, making a firm decision that I'm not going to re-engage. If it's a relationship, I'm going to call it final and done. I'm not going to try and get the person back. I'm really going to move on and see what else is out there for me. If it's a work situation, it's probably out of your hands. You maybe can't go back. So you're going to say, well, what else is out there for me? In fact, maybe this is the perfect opportunity to broaden my horizons, to go and do some study, to set up that business, to follow my heart's desire. Either way, you're going to be forward thinking, having forward vision, and really starting to focus on new opportunities, new successes. And of course, they're not going to materialize overnight, guys. I find I'm a pretty realistic reader. I feel that I don't say, oh, 1 week, here we go, ships are come in. It's not like that. But what's important now is to start taking those steps of preparation, to sow the seeds, to take the inspired action that will lead to that in your next season, your next cycle, and your next chapter. And that's why, we see you here, Gemini. This represents your energy, clutching that Ace of Wands, which indicates that I am now committed to passion, purpose, energy, taking action, all of the things of the Wands energy, using my personal power now to propel myself forward, to create. This is number 3, guys. And let's just go to this Magician energy for a moment here. And number 3, which is creation. The Magician is all about manifesting. You have a unique opportunity to manifest something new from the ground up after this ending. So the Magician is also an awakening to the fact that you actually have everything you need within you, Gemini. Yes, okay, sometimes we might need to ask for a little bit of help here and there, but we actually have all the tools that we need. The main tools that we need are self-belief and to take inspired action, right? And we don't need anyone else for that, but we might need to work on our inner game. The Magician, it is important to work on that inner game, because the Magician knows that his or her external reality is often a replica of what's going on in the inner world, right? And that's why the Magician does the internal alchemy, the internal work, because the Magician knows that they're magnetizing from that place, and that the vibe they put out there, attracts their tribe, attracts their opportunities. So it's the reminder to, let go of any hurts, or try and work through or resolve the grief as soon as you can, what is possible for you, to not hold on to any regrets or resent. Forgiveness is the great antidote, guys. If this has been a painful breakup, or you feel deceived because you were let go at work, or whatever it was, moving into an awakening, you can create whatever you desire. And when you realize that you have all that power and potential, that is when you really unlock your infinite ability to be the master creator who co-creates with the universe. So that is a really powerful combination there. Okay, coming in towards the end of the week, or sort of like, I see this as a result or outcome of the situation at hand as well. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Crystals, which is the Nine of Pentacles. This is from the beautiful Starchild Tarot deck. I just absolutely love their cards. They're absolutely stunning. The Oracle deck that I use is also illustrated by the same person. Okay, so first of all, Queen of Cups. This tells me that, it won't be long until you're back in a place of real emotional groundedness and security. Of course, there's going to be emotions running high if we're going through a completion, often, not always. But with the Queen of Cups, you get back in control pretty damn quickly. And the Queen of Cups can sit grounded, unshakable. She has all of her, emotions in this beautiful gilded cup. And she decides when she processes them, who she shows them to. She doesn't allow them to control her. She doesn't allow her emotions to, to drive her and to run wild. She has emotional self-mastery. And that's why she kind of sits really, grounded in this heavy stone throne, and she has the cliffs of Dover around her, indicating that she's unshakable. Even when she's, right on the edge of the emotional waters of life, or situations unfolding, even with dipping a toe in, she's not going to crumble. She's also an indicator of compassion, empathy, self-love. This is you in just a really good place mentally and with your heart as well. So beautiful energy. Now the Nine of Crystals or Nine of Pentacles is a card of just being pretty much on fire as an individual. It is about being independent, in control, successful, abundant. It also shows somebody who, okay, if this is a relationship breakup situation, who is loving single life and is magnetic, looking quite beautiful. Maybe you've done a bit of grooming and updated your Tinder profile. Probably can't really do it in person at the moment, but you will be magnetic. Whether it's a dating situation or a work situation, you will be kind of in your glory, shining bright in your glory as a Nine of Crystals energy. If this is a work reading for you, you feel like you've gone through work completion, this can be you going into a freelance opportunity or contracting, setting up a business, working alone as well. It's a very independent energy, and it's an energy of quality over quantity, of luxury, of making really informed decisions as well. And it really is a card of physical, material success, commitment, making things happen. But there is the reminder with this card that good things do take time, and we see that you are at that crossroads where you are at the beginning stages of manifesting. So we need to remember to have patience and not expect everything to materialize overnight, but to keep on taking those steps, even if it's just one little step every day, one little thing off the list, off the plan, signing up for that online course, or picking up the phone and talking to that person that has got the opportunity, or connecting with that person, actually swiping on that person on Tinder, and just having the confidence to do that. Just remember that you can do that. You have the confidence, you have everything you need to make the next stage of your life happen, Gemini. I love it. It's sometimes difficult to see the painful ending cards in a reading, but when you have ones like that following it up, I just see that it's just leading you to the next place in your life, and it's just absolutely meant to be. So you're aligning your life, Gemini. It's all lining up for you. So we just have to have the courage to see this ending through. Okay, Gemini, that feels complete for me, so I'm going to leave it there. I do wish you all the best with it this week. Keep in mind, I'm reading for a collective. It's not going to be your reading every week. So if it doesn't fit, don't make it fit, and don't leave a nasty comment on there saying it doesn't fit, because they don't always. I watch heaps of readings as well, and it's the same for me. Sometimes I'm like, wow, this is my reading. Other times I'm not, and I just pass on by. Leave me a comment though, because a nice one, because most of you do, and I do appreciate that. I read them all and I try to respond to them all as well. It helps me get to know you guys and connect with your energies. And I'll see you back here next week for another weekly reading. I also have the love readings up as well, so you might want to check those out. Thanks, Gemini.